Hi, I'm Cora. I'm a 34-year-old mom living in Portland with my husband Jake and our 6-year-old daughter Emma. Life was pretty normal until my mother-in-law Linda decided she knew better than me about raising my own kid. "Emma, sweetie, want some apple slices?" I called out one Saturday afternoon as Linda sat on our couch. "Can I have cookies instead, Mommy?" Emma asked, looking up from her coloring book. "After lunch, honey. Let's have something healthy first." Linda cleared her throat loudly. "You know, Cora, when Jake was Emma's age, I never denied him treats. Kids need to feel their mothers aren't constantly restricting them." I forced a smile. "We're trying to balance healthy eating with treats, Linda. It's working well for us." "Is it, though?" Linda raised an eyebrow. "Emma looks thin to me. Are you sure she's eating enough?" Jake walked in from the kitchen. "Mom, Emma's perfectly healthy. Her pediatrician says she's right on track." "Doctors don't know everything, Jake. A grandmother's intuition counts for something." Linda stood up and walked over to Emma. "Sweetheart, are you hungry? Does Mommy feed you enough?" My jaw tightened. "Linda, please don't ask her that." "I'm just concerned. Someone has to be." Linda's voice dripped with false sweetness. This wasn't the first comment. Last month, she'd criticized my choice to let Emma take dance classes instead of soccer. The month before, she'd told Jake that I was too soft on discipline. But this was different. This was her questioning whether I was feeding my child properly. "Mom, we need to talk about boundaries," Jake said firmly. "Boundaries? I'm Emma's grandmother. I have a right to be concerned about her welfare." "You have a right to visit, not to undermine Cora's parenting decisions," Jake replied. Linda gathered her purse with dramatic flair. "Fine. I can see I'm not wanted here. But don't come crying to me when Emma develops issues from your methods." She left in a huff, and I felt my stomach churning. Something about her tone, her persistence, felt more sinister than usual criticism. 2 weeks later, I got a call from my friend Sarah while grocery shopping. "Cora, we need to talk. Can you meet me for coffee?" Sarah's voice sounded urgent. "Sure. Is everything okay?" "Just meet me at Brewhaven in 20 minutes. It's important." When I arrived, Sarah was already there, her face serious. She slid her phone across the table toward me. "What am I looking at?" I asked. "Linda's been posting about you on a parenting group I'm in. I screenshotted everything before she could delete it." My hands shook as I scrolled through the posts. Linda had written multiple messages describing me as a neglectful mother who starves Emma and refuses proper guidance. She'd even shared our address, asking if anyone knew resources to help children in need. "Sarah, she's literally trying to make people think I'm abusing Emma." "There's more," Sarah said quietly. "Someone commented that they saw Linda at Emma's school last week. Cora, was Linda supposed to be there?" "No. She doesn't have permission to pick Emma up or visit during school hours. Only Jake and I do." "Then you need to call the school. Now." My hands trembled as I dialed Emma's elementary school. The secretary answered cheerfully. "Hi, this is Cora Mitchell, Emma Mitchell's mother. Can you tell me if anyone visited my daughter this week?" "Let me check. Yes, actually. Linda Mitchell came by on Tuesday. She said you'd approved a grandparent lunch visit." Ice flooded my veins. I absolutely did not approve that. What did she do? "She took Emma out for lunch off campus for about an hour. Mrs. Mitchell seemed lovely, and Emma was excited to see her grandmother, so we didn't see an issue. Emma is 6 years old. She can't consent to being taken off campus. Only authorized guardians can do that, and Linda is not authorized." "Mrs. Mitchell, I'm so sorry." She was very convincing and said, "What did they talk about? Did anyone supervise?" "No, they left campus." "I'm terribly sorry. This is a serious violation of our protocols." I hung up and looked at Sarah with tears streaming down my face. She took Emma. She lied to the school and took my daughter without permission. What did she say to her? What did she tell her? Sarah reached across and squeezed my hand. "We're going to figure this out. But Cora, you need to talk to Emma tonight. Find out what Linda said during that lunch." That evening, after Jake got home, We sat Emma down in her room. Sweetie, Grandma Linda said you two had lunch together this week at school. Can you tell us about that? I kept my voice gentle. Emma's eyes lit up. Yeah, Grandma surprised me. She brought me to that burger place I like. What did you talk about? Jake asked carefully. Emma's smile faded slightly. Grandma asked if I was happy at home. She asked if you guys fight a lot. My heart sank. What did you tell her? I said you and Daddy sometimes disagree about what movie to watch, but you don't really fight. Then she asked if you feed me enough food and if I'm scared of you. Scared of me? My voice cracked. Emma, are you scared of me? No, Mommy! Emma rushed to hug me. I told Grandma that was silly, but she kept asking weird questions. She said if I was ever hungry or scared, I should call her secret phone number and she'd come get me. Jake's face had gone pale. Did she give you a phone number, Emma? Emma nodded and pulled a folded paper from her backpack. She made me promise not to tell you. She said it was our special secret. Jake took the paper, his jaw clenched. Emma, adults should never ask you to keep secrets from Mommy and me. If any grown-up does that again, you tell us immediately, okay? Okay, Daddy. Did I do something wrong? No, baby, you did nothing wrong, I assured her. But we need to have a grown-up conversation with Grandma. After putting Emma to bed, Jake and I sat at the kitchen table with Sarah, who'd come over to help us plan. She's coaching Emma to report you to CPS, Sarah said bluntly. Those questions about being scared, about not being fed enough, she's planting seeds. Can she actually get Emma taken away? Jake's voice shook. Not with these baseless claims, but she can make your life hell with investigations, Sarah replied. My cousin went through something similar. You need to get ahead of this. Jake pulled out his phone. I'm calling her right now. Wait, I said. We need to be strategic. If you call angry, she'll play victim. We need evidence and witnesses. Evidence of what? Being a nightmare mother-in-law isn't illegal, Jake said bitterly. No, but impersonating an authorized guardian and taking a child from school might be, Sarah suggested. And depending on what she posts online, there could be defamation issues. The next morning, I called our family lawyer, Tom Reynolds. So your mother-in-law is conducting what sounds like a smear campaign, Tom said after I explained everything. Do you have screenshots of her posts? Yes, and a witness who can testify to seeing them in a public group. Good. And the school confirmed she took Emma without authorization? Yes. The secretary admitted their mistake in releasing Emma to her. Here's what I recommend, Tom said. Document everything. Every text, every call, every interaction. Send your mother-in-law a certified letter stating she no longer has permission to contact Emma unsupervised or visit your home. If she violates that, you have grounds for a restraining order. Will a letter actually stop her? Jake asked. Probably not, but it establishes your position legally. When she inevitably violates it, you'll have evidence of a pattern of boundary violations. That afternoon, I confronted Jake's sister, Michelle, who'd been strangely quiet through all this. Michelle, did you know your mom was posting lies about me online? I asked when she answered my call. Cora, Mom's just worried about Emma. She thinks what? That I'm abusing my daughter? That I'm starving her? Michelle, she's trying to get CPS involved. Mom would never do that. She just has strong opinions about parenting. Strong opinions? She took Emma from school without permission. She's coaching her to spy on me. Michelle's voice grew defensive. Maybe if you weren't so controlling about how much time Mom spends with Emma, none of this would be happening. You've always been too sensitive about Mom's advice. Advice? She's slandering me in public forums and manipulating my 6-year-old. You're being dramatic, Cora. This is why Mom's concerned. You're clearly stressed and maybe not thinking clearly. I hung up, furious. Even Jake's sister was enabling this behavior. Jake drafted the cease and desist letter that evening, hands shaking. I can't believe I have to legally ban my own mother from seeing her grandchild, he said. She did this to herself, I replied. Every choice she made led here. 3 days after we sent the certified letter, Linda showed up at our door unannounced. I opened it to find her standing there with a bag of Emma's favorite candy. "I want to see my granddaughter," Linda announced, pushing past me into the house. "Linda, you received our letter. You're not welcome here without an invitation." "That ridiculous letter from some ambulance-chasing lawyer? Jake clearly wrote that under your influence." Jake appeared from the kitchen. "Mom, I wrote every word myself. You need to leave." Linda's face twisted. "You're really choosing her over your own mother? After everything I've done for you? You lied to Emma's school. You tried to turn our daughter against Cora. What did you think would happen?" Jake's voice rose. "I was protecting Emma from her." Linda pointed at me accusingly. "Everyone can see you're too strict with that child. She's miserable." "Emma is thriving," I shot back. "Her teachers say she's happy, healthy, and well-adjusted. The only person making her miserable is you with your interrogations and secret phone numbers." "How dare you speak to me that way? I raised Jake perfectly well without interference from—" "Without interference?" Jake interrupted. "Mom, Dad left because you were so controlling. You've always needed to dominate every situation." Linda's face went red. "Your father left because he was weak. Just like you're being weak now, letting this woman poison you against me." Sarah, who'd been sitting in our living room, stood up. "Mrs. Mitchell, I was in that parenting group. I saw what you posted. Accusing Cora of neglect and sharing their address? That's beyond inappropriate." "Who is this person? Why is some stranger in my family's business?" Linda demanded. "Sarah is our friend and Emma's godmother," I said. "And you made this everyone's business when you posted publicly online." "Those posts were expressing legitimate concerns. A grandmother has a right to—" "No," I cut her off. "You have no rights here. You lost them when you decided lying and manipulation were acceptable." Linda's eyes filled with tears, the same manipulative tears Jake had told me about. "Jake, honey, please. I only want what's best for Emma. Can't we work this out? I'll apologize if that's what you need." "Apologize?" I laughed bitterly. "You're not sorry. You're sorry you got caught. Cora, please, I'm begging you. Let me see my granddaughter. I promise I'll be better." "Your promises mean nothing," Jake said firmly. "You've crossed lines that can't be uncrossed." Linda's fake tears dried instantly, replaced by cold fury. "You'll regret this. Both of you. I will see my granddaughter, with or without your permission." "Is that a threat?" Sarah asked, pulling out her phone. "Because I'm recording this." "You can't keep me from Emma forever," Linda shrieked. "I have grandparents' rights. I'll take you to court." "Oregon doesn't grant grandparents' rights when parents are married and competent," I said. "Our lawyer already confirmed that." Linda grabbed a vase from our entry table and hurled it at the wall, shattering it. "You've turned my son against me. You've stolen my family." "Mom, stop!" Jake moved toward her. "You need to leave now before this gets worse." "Worse? I'll show you worse!" Linda shoved Jake hard, and he stumbled backward into the wall. "That's assault," Sarah said, still recording. "I'm calling the police." Linda lunged at me, grabbing my arm and digging her nails in. "You manipulative witch! You planned this from the beginning!" Jake pulled her off me, and she turned on him, slapping him across the face. "I wish you'd never been born!" Linda screamed at him. "You're dead to me, both of you!" She stormed out, but not before kicking over our coat rack and sweeping her arm across our bookshelf, sending framed photos crashing to the floor. After she left, Jake touched his reddening cheek. "Did that really just happen?" "Every second is recorded," Sarah confirmed, ending the video. "That's destruction of property, assault, and terroristic threatening. You've got her." 2 officers arrived within 15 minutes. Officer Davis and Officer Chen listened carefully as we explained the situation and showed them Sarah's video. "Mrs. Mitchell clearly committed assault," Officer Davis said, reviewing the footage. "She struck you, Mr. Mitchell, and grabbed Mrs. Mitchell aggressively. That's domestic violence even with family members." "Can we get a restraining order?" I asked. "Based on this video and her threat about seeing Emma with or without permission, I'd say you have strong grounds for an emergency protective order," Officer Chen replied. "We'll file a report and arrest warrant for assault." "She's my mother," Jake said quietly. This feels surreal. Family violence is still violence, Officer Davis said gently. You're protecting your daughter. That's what matters. The next week was a whirlwind of legal proceedings. Linda was arrested and charged with 2 counts of assault and 1 count of criminal mischief. She spent a night in jail before posting bail. Tom helped us file for a restraining order, which was granted immediately. Linda was forbidden from contacting us or coming within 500 feet of our home, Emma's school, or our workplaces. I sat with Emma explaining carefully. Grandma Linda made some choices that weren't safe. We love you so much, and we need to keep you safe. That means Grandma can't visit for a while. Is it because she was asking me weird questions? Emma asked. Partly. Grandma needs to learn about boundaries and respect. Maybe someday she'll understand, but right now, our family is just us. And that's okay. Okay, Mommy. Can Aunt Sarah come over instead? Absolutely, sweetheart. 2 months later, Linda reached out through her lawyer, requesting mediation. We met at Tom's office. My client wishes to apologize and rebuild the relationship with her son and granddaughter, Linda's lawyer began. Linda sat across from us, looking smaller somehow. Jake, Cora, I'm sorry. I was wrong. Can we please start over? I looked at her coldly. No, but I'm apologizing. What more do you want? This isn't about what we want. It's about what you did. You tried to destroy our family because you couldn't control it. I was misguided, but my intentions... Your intentions were to take Emma away from me, I interrupted. You coached her to report abuse that didn't exist. You slandered me publicly. You assaulted us in our own home. Jake added, Mom, you told me you wished I'd never been born. You don't get to come back from that. People say things in anger they don't mean, Linda pleaded. And some things, once said, can't be unsaid, Jake replied. You had hundreds of chances to stop, to respect our boundaries, to be a good grandmother. You chose manipulation and violence instead. So that's it? I lose my son and granddaughter forever over a few mistakes? They weren't mistakes, they were deliberate choices, I said. And yes, that's it. The restraining order stays in place. You're not welcome in our lives. Linda's face hardened. You'll turn Emma against me. She'll grow up not knowing her grandmother. No, I said firmly. Emma will grow up knowing that we protected her from someone who tried to use her as a weapon. She'll learn that love doesn't mean tolerating abuse. Linda stood abruptly. You're making a mistake. Family is everything. You're right, Jake said. Family is everything. That's why we're protecting ours from you. After they left, Tom smiled. That was handled perfectly. The restraining order will be made permanent at the hearing next month. 6 months later, Jake and I sat on our porch while Emma played in the backyard with Sarah's kids. Do you ever regret how things went down? Jake asked. Not for a second. We gave her every opportunity to be a good grandmother. She chose this path. Michelle still won't talk to me. She thinks we overreacted. Michelle can think whatever she wants. We know the truth. Emma ran up to us, breathless and smiling. Mommy, Daddy, watch me do a cartwheel. We watched our daughter tumble across the grass, happy and carefree, no longer burdened by secret phone numbers and manipulative questions. This is what matters, I said, squeezing Jake's hand. This right here. Linda eventually completed her court-mandated anger management, but never contacted us again. We heard through extended family that she moved to Arizona to be near Jake's sister. Emma occasionally asks about her, and we answer honestly. Sometimes people in our lives can't be what we need them to be. And that's okay. We're happy. We're free. And most importantly, we're safe. Have you ever had to cut off a toxic family member to protect your kids? How did you handle it? Drop your story in the comments below, and don't forget to like and subscribe for more real-life stories about standing up for your family.